Hello, everybody. This is Bob Anderson, and today is April 9th, 2025. Holy cow. Holy cow. That's about what I can say right now is holy cow. The volatility going on is just insane. And the market can't seem to pick a direction right now. And I personally, it is what it is. But I bring this up because Monday I woke up, turned on my charts, and looking at the NQ, for example, and the candles are to scale. They all just kind of flow together. And so if they're all running whatever size, they're running whatever size. I'm not noticing. And I take my first trade. Now, just to give you an idea, I trade the NQ with an ATM that automatically throws a target and a stop on my screen. Okay. So I'm not trading naked. And the target is 50 points and the stop is 25 points. It doesn't mean that's where the thing stays. That's just how it comes out of the gate. Okay. So I go ahead and push, I go ahead and drop a trade in because I'm just looking at charts that are to scale. And I mean, I was in and out like that and not in the good way. I was in and out for a loss, just like that. And it was a break of a candle, long, bing, bing, back. Just killed me. I'm sitting there going, so the first thing I said to myself is, I must be using the wrong ATM. Again, it's Monday morning. I might have just dropped in the wrong ATM on the chart. Let me go look. And I go look, and I'm like, no, this is my NQ ATM. So then I go look at my P&L, and I'm like, holy shit. I lost $250 like that. I mean, I'm talking like that. I mean, it was in out, just like that. Okay. $250. Boom. So then I started reading the candles, and I'm like, holy crap. These candles are like 300 points. Points. Okay. From one end to the other. Back to back to back to back to back. So 300 points. There's 4 ticks in a point. $6,000 a candle from the bottom to the top. Make sure I did that right. Yeah, $6,000 a candle. Okay? Insanity. And there's no way you can go into that with a stop at 25 ticks unless you're just freaking just amazingly lucky. So, I first, so then I go back and I'm looking to see, did I miss news? What the hell? And I'm looking at the other candles to the left and they all look the same size. So I'm totally confused. Okay. So I said to myself, okay, I've got to adapt to this, what's going on here. And so what I did is, like, say the pullback I got on this chart here, okay? Let's just say that's the overnight open right there. And we're getting a pullback to it, okay? And it's a sequence of candles where the tops are, lower or equal to the one to the left, and we're reaching and, and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, all right? What I decided to do is I would have my buy order sitting up here blindly. I drag my finger down here, but I would wait for price to go through it, the candle to the left, and then hope that it goes back inside. And then when it came back out the second time, if it didn't go back inside too far, like all the way down, put my order back in there, put my order in there, and then hope for the re-swing back out. I wasn't taking the first break. Okay. Now, and why was that? Because if this candle is, say, 300 points, what was happening in that minute is we had up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down to get from here to, that's all the activity that was going inside that 300 minutes. Okay. And that swing back knocks you out, swings back up, swings back, swings not, you know what I mean? So I was trying to just time my entry to not be when it first comes through, because in my mind, I'm on the first attempt through. So I want that second one where it pushes me up higher and my stop's not really at risk. Just my thought process. Anyways, that worked for me for about 3 trades in a row. So I got $1,250 positive. Then I sat there and started continuing that, and it just wasn't working. Bam, getting knocked out again. Bam, getting knocked out again. So I lost like $500. So I stopped, and I just called it a day. That was Monday. Okay. So let's fast forward to Tuesday, Wednesday. I wake up and I'm looking at freaking candles still that are just way too large. So I did something I've never done before. I started trading micros. I started trading micros, and I can tell you this: it made it a lot. I started trading them naked too, just so you know. Full disclosure, trading them naked, meaning I'm not putting a stop or a target on my screen. I'm just taking a naked trade, and then I create a stop, follow the back of the candle, and try to capitalize on these big long candles. Okay, and so that worked. I made, I don't know, maybe $400 or $500 on Tuesday, and then I made a little bit of money today. I'm up. What the hell am I up? Shoot, I can't remember. How much am I up this week? I think I'm up $2,000. No, I'm up $2,800. That's right. Then I must have done something else on Tuesday. I can't remember. But here's the point. I have to adapt. I had to adapt to what was going on, because it's not normal. What's going on in the market is not normal. The volume is not normal. The size of the candles is not normal. And so I get an email this morning from one of my subscribers who's been a subscriber for a long time, and he's in the same industry I am. He's in the housing business. And just a quick story about the housing business here in the United States. I build new construction, sometimes between a person finding a piece of property, us getting it cleared, getting through the permitting process, getting the house ordered and delivered, and sometimes that could take a year from beginning to end, okay, to even get all that going. April of last year, business, new customers came to a screeching halt. I'm talking screeching halt on my end. Now, if you're dealing with existing homes, wow, because when that comes to a screeching halt, it stops. That's it. And he's been sitting there with these challenges in his life. And he's really taken this trading a lot more seriously. And he tells me his whole family knows who I am now in a positive way, because it has made a change in his life, and it has helped him stabilize his family's finances, which is interesting, because that whole situation happened to me back in, I've talked about this, in 2011, 12, that time frame, when I lost my house. I lost my housing business. I lost my business, and I lost significant amount of money trying to figure out how to do this and whatnot. So let me read you just a quick email that he sent me today. He says, Bob, the volume bars on Monday were crazy. I have never seen 200 to 350 point in one bar before. Now, the NQ, maybe when the market opens, maybe, but not candle after candle after candle after candle, so that when you're looking at it scale wise, you can't see that one candle is freaking crazy, because they're all crazy. I included 2 videos of me taking 2 trades for 30 points each. I went into a trade Monday with NQ, ran that up for $10,900. One contract. Finished, he said, I screamed like a little girl. Finished that day up 15 grand. He says, I hope you're capitalizing on these crazy days also. Well, you can only capitalize if you can adapt. And if you don't adapt, you're just going to get clobbered. Or if you don't feel you can adapt, you just don't play. You just don't partake. And so anyways, the point of this video is to talk about what I did. I adapted by using micros. And it's helped. It helped me still partake. It helped. I made some money. But I felt like if I stayed trading the regular NQ, I could possibly just get my head chopped off. This gentleman here did great. And his videos, his charts are exactly the same as mine. They're the same charts. He trades the exact same strategy. He's been doing it for a while. And like I said, his whole family knows who I am. And they thank me routinely in emails for the change it has made in his life. And that kind of makes me feel really good. So what I want to do is I just want to kind of show some patterns that you should pay attention to that I've talked about before. Because when there is volatility, take away the freaking large candles and all that stuff. When there is volatility, then there has a tendency to be more opportunities, because the market's not stale. It's not just kind of, it's going from here to here, from there to there, from there to there, that kind of stuff. So I want to show you these patterns again, that are the patterns that are really showing themselves when there is such volatility, that if you keep recognizing them, you too could possibly make money. I know that what I want to do, and I told him this in my email that I replied back congratulating him on his day, on his trading, is I personally want to be able to recognize more and more the swings from this level to this level, and me making the most money I can out of the contracts that I enter, and just kind of pull back the stress that I feel, because every time I enter a trade, I'm stressed. I am. I'm just being honest. I just stress. I mean, I really do. It's not healthy, I don't think. But the micros have kind of helped me not stress so much, to be honest with you. But anyways, so let me show you some charts and let's go from there. All right. Okay, so I'm going to try this for the 3rd time. My phone keeps ringing. Anyways, so this is Monday gold. Okay, just for observations. Notice we're trading in the lines. So you're looking at, here's the current day low. Here's the prior day low. Here's the current day overnight open. Here's the prior day close. Here's the current day high. Let's see here. Here's the prior day overnight open. Here's the prior day high. All right, there. Jesus, let me get it all out. All right. So if you'll notice, we blew right through it at midnight or whatever. And then boom, straight up, right off the prior day close. I mean, it's magic, I know. Anyway, so let's get to when the market actually opens, which is way over here, right here. So it opened right here, shot straight down to the prior day close, did a lot of herky jerkiness right there, and then zing, right back to the red line. Just like that NQ trade that I videotaped and put in this video. And then it rolled right back over. All right. And then we got through the other side. Now we're underneath the overnight open. I mean the prior day low. Jesus, I'll get it out. Just ran right through it. Shoot. Okay. Now we're sitting on top of it. See, we rolled up and we're on top of it. Kind of looks like, to be honest with you, I mean, I don't know that I'd be getting into this, but that kind of looks like a long to me right here when this candle closes, because we went up and on top. Okay, still there. See the tick right there? Oh my God. I'm actually doing this right with you guys right now. I am. I didn't look. So we sat on top of it. These candles, let's see. Now we're underneath it. Forget it. Okay, forget it. Forget it. But it did go up. Look at that. All right, hold on here. Let's see if we get anything else. Now I'm just want to stay away from it for a while. Let me shrink this up so we can see some more. All right, so now we're running up to this area. Oh boy, look at this. Okay, look at now we're talk about running. Let's see what happens here. Hold on here. Nothing. Oh, man, that's running. Hold on here. Oh shit. Okay, now. All right, so we haven't been there to the bottom side, the resistance side. So we plowed right through, sat on here. Okay, we have not been to the resistance side since we've come across price. All right, so this, I would definitely be focused on this short. So when this candle closed, we got two things. We got the overnight open and we got the prior day close. So I'd have my short right there when this candle closes. Let's see what happens. Holy shit. Okay, hold on here. So how far did that candle just go? Holy shit. Hold on here. So you're in at 53.40. This thing ran down to 48.40. That's $500. One candle. That's $500 right there. Oh boy, it's still going. I wonder, does it go back to the low? Does it go back to the prior day low? Does it go back to the prior day low? Oh my God, it did. Okay, I didn't know that. All right, prior day low right here. So what's that? What's that trade? That is 53.50 to 32.70 for conversational purposes. So 53.50.5, 32.7. Holy Jesus Christ. That's $2,080. That right there. That rotation from here to here. And what was our hint that we were going to do that? We came right through. We hadn't been there. We haven't tested this area yet. We have not tested the bottom side of this area yet. And we ran to it. At about 10:20 in the afternoon, or 10:20 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. Holy cow. Okay, so do we get a long here? It's possible we'd be looking for a long right here at 34.40. Nope. Okay, we're underneath. All right, so now I might be looking for a crossover short. Let's see if we get a crossover short. Let's see if we get one. So now what we'd be looking for, I would be looking for, is this crossover retest short. Let's see if we get one. Let's see if we get one. No, we did not. But what we did get is a 1 minute gold line trade. Well, it didn't set up right though. Hold on here. Let's keep going. Keep going. Nothing. 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 Okay. All right. That's nothing. 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 We are now we're out of the zone. See, we're all the lines are up here. We're way down here. But do you not see the sequence? Cross on top, up, crossed over, didn't maintain position for a short. Crossover, sat on top, long. See that? Crossover, sat on top, long to here that had not been tested before. Boom, back down to here. I mean, these patterns are like crazy. All right. So let's go to Tuesday, which is yesterday. All right. Look at this crossover, retest, boom, bam, daily high. Back down. Now to the overnight open. See, this was to the prior day close. Now to the overnight open. Pull back, long, bam, to the daily high again. I mean, these are not by accident. This rotation and then cross to here is not by accident. This rotation to the overnight open and then a break back to the daily high is not by, these are not by accident. I can't explain enough how they're not by accident. They wouldn't happen over and over and over again if they were by accident. So let's get to 8 o'clock in the morning, because I can't remember if we had a, let's get to the 8 o'clock morning so I can look at the lines. Let me get to the 8 o'clock morning so I can look at the lines. All right, here we are. Here's 8. So let's look at the lines. Do we have any lines? Here's prior day open. Here's current day open. Here's prior day close. Here's the prior day low. Here's the current day low. So we are kind of in some lines, but boy, these are pretty big gaps. So let's just kind of see if we start running towards anything. Okay, we're at 9:30. Let's see if we start running towards anything first for some lines. Well, let's see here. God dang it. Oh, maybe now. Maybe. Let me see here. Let me shrink this up. Oh yeah, we might be going to some lines here. Hold on. Okay. Here we go. We're getting into some lines. By the way, look at that crossover retest of the red line. Fink. Anyways, here we are. Okay. Whoa. All right. When's the last time we've been here? Long time ago. By the way, it was a crossover retest. Wham. We talked about that a while ago. It's been a long time since we've been here. Let's see what happens. Oh, did you take off? Oh my God, it did. Hold on here. Let me blow this thing up. It went right through and then gone. Are we going to rotate over? Okay. Here we are. We're on top of the overnight open. I'd be looking for a long right here, possibly. I mean, that's a big candle. It's possible. Nope, we rotated under. Okay, we're under. Let me keep looking. All right, now maybe we'll get a rotation short. Okay. All right. Now we had a crossover. I'd be looking for a short here. Still looking for a short right here. See that? Still looking for a short. Okay. Oh, we're in. We're in. Go. Go. Oh, man. Go. Go. There you go. All right. So how much was this in general? This was 96.6. So 60, it went over 60 ticks. Back to here again. I'm not a fan of this unless we hit the prior day close.
Dennis LLC.
God dang it. Why do people have to call me when I'm in the middle of doing this? Hold on. All right, I'm sorry about that. My phone just keeps ringing. Anyways, wow, that actually worked the second time even. Interesting. And now we're like at 1 o'clock. But we did just test the prior day close. Let's see. Does that hold? Does that hold? No, it didn't hold. Well, it may hold. I don't know. No. All right, let's go to today. This is today. Let's see if we're in any of these lines today, because I don't know if we are or not. Oh no, we're definitely not. We're way up. Yeah, today's way up. So we're out of play here. Let me pull this down for just a second and just show you this, just for example. All right, so here we got the NQ. Here we got the NQ for Monday. Okay, see this candle right here? This is just a generic. See these candles? These are just candles, right? This candle right here goes from 349 to 381. So 349 to 181. Sorry, that's 168. I don't know why I picked that candle, but that's at 11. That's at 11 o'clock. That's at 11:15. I mean, some of these candles are insane. But here you had your crossover retest of your overnight open, rejection, crossover retest, overnight open, rejection. Not much there, obviously. Hopefully you have your stop for your break even. And then you had a crossover retest of your overnight open again. Shoot, gone. Here's your crossover retest of your prior day close, up, back down, prior day low, back up. Now, by the way, when I'm pointing these out, like this is you got to understand, this was Monday, okay? So if you take that break right there, which is 428, this, for example, goes straight to 694. So 428, 694 minus is 266 points. That's $5,320. That's why I was saying this because this is to scale, okay? Because the candles are to scale. That does not look like it should be $5,300, but that is $5,300. That right there. Jesus. All right, let's see what we got here. Crossover retest to the bottom, maybe. Are we testing it? Okay. Possibly a short here. Hold on here. Possibly a short here. Are we going short? Yep. There you go. Now, this candle here, for example, 391 went down to 295, 293. So that just the break, not the whole candle, just the break that I'm showing you right here. The break of this, where this candle finally broke through the bottom of this candle here, was 100 points to the bottom. 100 points. Let's see if it keeps going down. I don't know. No, it came back up. Wow. 100 points. Now, do you see the volatility, craziness? Now, let's see if we get a gap and a retest. Here, let's see. Let's see if we get a gap and a retest. Let's see if we get a gap and a retest. Here we go. All right, all right, all right. We may be getting a retest here of the prior day close. Here we go. Let's see. Hold on here. Okay, almost. There it is. Wow. Okay, are we going long? Are we going long? Are we going long? Are we going long? Oh my God, and it collapsed. Wow. Did something happen there? I don't know, 11:15. That's weird. Okay. Oh yeah, that's the candle I circled just out of randomness. That was 300 points or whatever. So now we're on the short side. I mean, can you see the volatility in this stuff? It's insane. I could not trade it with a contract. I could not trade it with just a regular NQ contract. I had to go trade some micros. This stuff is insane. And just be willing to take and be willing to get out was the other thing I had to do. Just be willing to get out. Be willing to get out. I mean, look at this craziness right here. Okay, so this is 1 o'clock. Okay, this is 1 o'clock. This is 1 o'clock on what day was this? Monday or Tuesday? I can't remember now. This candle goes from 17,250 to 17,554. $304 points. Is that all? Now let's close it up to scale. Oh yeah, because see how big it looks when it's unusual compared to the candles next to it? See how big that looks? But then when you shrink this compared to the candles that were going on here, it doesn't look so big anymore. That's my point. That candle right there was $6,080. This candle right here. And then it flips back over. I mean, it's insanity. How can you trade that stuff? How can you trade that stuff? It's not even possible. So anyways, that's why I went back and just started trading some micros, and till we get out of this craziness and I can be more, prepared for things like this. Crossover, retest, long. Okay. Now, even that right there, this long right here at 252, my 50 points would be 302. There's 302 right here. You see how quickly that happened? That's $500. Anyways, but that's your standard 1 minute gold line trade right there. You got your reset, prices below your 9 EMA, crossed over, created Donchian daily high, as a matter of fact, rotation back, smooth, long, boom, $500 right there. Just like that. Just like I talk about it over and 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 over again. And there are some people out there that have listened over and over and over and over again. And one of them emailed me and said he made 15 grand on Monday just with one contract in the NQ. Everybody have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.